Check. 1, 2. What's up? It's your boy, Levelhead, back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. I got my crew in here. What's up, fellas?
What the business is, man? What the business is?
that boy Wiley, yo, what's up? I'm ready to get in this. Let's do this, bro.
Yeah, man, we are back. Let me know if my microphone sounds less spacey. I've been trying to work on the settings, man. I be listening to the cast and K-Bum, are you muted? You left me muted. Did you mute yourself? I guess he did.
Yeah. I'm watching the end of this video. I'm muted.
What's up, Lewis? Welcome to the show. He already said, what's up? What's up, bro? Let me know if I'm sounding good. I'm trying to make sure the mic ain't all spacey like the last few times we've been on here. But welcome. You are the first. We have no prize for you, but we thank you for being here. But we had a crew. We're going to have some topics on tonight. Switch to real announcements coming now. Are we finally in that phase where it's starting to happen? So Q4 2024, is it happening, or are we going to talk about it coming earlier? I think it's going to come earlier than that, to be honest with you. But we'll talk about that, but we got some real news. We're going to talk about this situation with Starfield. Where is the marketing? Microsoft, what are you doing? It's September coming up real soon, and you haven't marketed nothing. We're going to talk about I love beat-em-ups. Oh, I love the return of beat-em-ups in this generation. I'm having a good time with this Double Dragon. Also, we got how has the power race affected Nintendo? We're going to talk about that as well. So, anyway, welcome to the show. If I'm coming through loud and clear, let me know. Well, what's up, y'all? Go ahead.
No, man, I'm chilling. You called me Mid Oreo. Mid Oreo. No, I'm doing good, man.
What you say over here? Keep on trying to get what you say. What you say over here? Oh, I got it. Never mind. He said I'll be right back. I got you. I gotta learn these acronyms, y'all. I gotta learn these acronyms. But welcome to the show. Lewis, let me know if I'm coming through clear, man. Let me know if my microphone sounding good. Hopefully that fixes whatever was the issue. I pray it does. But K-Bomb 20, man. So we was having an interesting conversation. We'll probably pick it up in the cast. I thought that was a good conversation. We'll pick it up, bro. But what's been good, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I did my sermon last Sunday, so I'm pretty good, feeling good. It worked out really well.
Saw the wife do the praise dance.
Yeah.
He went off on the sound, man. I'm like, you can't be going off on the sound, man.
You went off on the sound?
He went off on the sound. He's like, get your ass together in the back. What you doing? Get my
It was the visual. No, it was the visual. So I work the visuals. When it's my Sunday, I work the visuals. So I know how it is back there. So I was giving her a hard time.
Okay, I'm messing with you. He did say, get them sounds right in the back. We gonna work with you. But no, you did an awesome job. I still gotta finish it though. I didn't finish everything. Thank you. Oh man, that's what's up. He said I sounds perfect. So good. Thank you, Lewis. But yeah, man, I gotta finish it. But I got to about 25 minutes of it. But I had to go do something, so I had to stop. But what I heard was really good.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Serious. I did. I checked you out. You didn't think I would?
I don't take anything for granted. Like I said, I appreciate it. I don't take anything for granted. So whenever somebody do something extra for me, I appreciate it.
Oh, listen to him, man. You know, I'm here for you, man. Now, you know what I'm saying? I could use critique, too. You know what I'm saying? I don't, have you ever checked me out, K-Ball?
Oh, come on, man. You know, I've give you some personal critiques and feedback.
You did an awesome job, man. I even walked away like I need to add that to my little repertoire. Hey Keith, he didn't sound nothing like he sound on here. I'm just gonna say. Didn't sound nothing like he's. I'm like, what? Oh wait, hold up. Well, who is this? This old friendly. Keith, he sound like somebody you can just walk up to and have a peaceful, not this old agitated person we get every Thursday. I'm messing, but no, it was awesome, man. You did a good job though. But anyway,
I appreciate that.
welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, and tell your wife she did an awesome job as well.
I'll make sure.
I'm gonna have to get my wife to step up. Kay, you gotta do some praise dancing when we get to church. Anyway, let me stop. She gonna come down and yell at them. No, but anyway, welcome to the show. Like I said, we got a lot set up for you guys on tonight. Man, I got a chance to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is on Disney right now. And man,
when did it come out?
I think the first or the second.
Really?
Yeah, it's up there, and it's good. It's actually really good. It's good, man. I didn't expect it to be that good. The end kind of tugged on me a little bit, but it really shows me how far the MCU has fell off, because that was the staple. That was we got a lot of those back in the day. I went back and I watched Infinity Wars. Man, Marvel done fell off, bro. But I'm glad Guardians of the Galaxy kind of spared them and kind of redeemed them. That was really good. Anything else before we get into these? What you been gaming on?
Man, I got a confession.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever officially finished Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I've watched that movie several times, but I get sleepy, on my way to the big fight. I get sleepy, and I'm like, I really don't know what happens. So. I'm sorry, Kayvon.
I got a love-hate relationship with Guardians of the Galaxy 2. First of all, what's his name? Ego. Ego was not a dope conclusion for me. I thought Ego kind of. First of all, what's his name? Kurt Russell? Is that his name? What is his name?
Yeah, that's Kurt. It was Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt Russell doesn't. To me, he didn't fit that role. I feel like they should have found somebody better. I like Kurt Russell, but Kurt Russell is Kurt Russell in everything he plays. When is he not just Kurt Russell in another movie? So I'm trying to. It broke me out of the movie because he was never made you feel like he was really acting. He just felt like Kurt Russell. So then Ego as a boss and he just wasn't. He was interesting, but how it concludes wasn't interesting, and it does drag in the middle, so to speak. So I can see the dozing, because I probably done it myself a few times. So I did it at the theater in the K-Bum, got to witness that. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all. I thought K-Bum was gonna slide it on in there, so I guess I thought I'd tell him myself before he jabbed me with that one. But anyway.
It was coming, so good job.
I didn't like 2 that much. It ain't that it's bad. I just, like I said, I grew to like 2. I didn't like it when I first watched it. But go ahead, K-Bone, you was finna say something.
No, I was just saying if we had to judge, 2 is probably the lowest one, right? It would probably go probably be 1, 3, 2 if you had to put it in a certain order. But for some people, it may be 3, 1, 2. But if anyone puts,
I think one.
If anyone puts 2 first, don't trust them. Just don't whatever you do, don't trust them if they put 2 first. That's all I know.
Lewis said, "I am done with Disney."
Oof.
Wait.
I ain't gonna say I'm done because I still got to take my girls to Disney World. So I ain't done yet. But what they did on that last episode and a half of the invasion of invasions, what is the full name of that?
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasions. Yeah, I should be done with them. How they ended that, but no, I ain't done with them yet. But they teetering on being off to the side a little bit. They don't have that same punch they used to have. Anything else before we get into what you been gaming on, man?
Yeah, just let's give them some credit for the Loki trailer. Y'all saw who was in the Loki trailer? Y'all saw who was in there?
Was he in there?
He was in there. He was.
Cool.
Victor Timely.
I haven't seen the Loki trailer yet.
It looks good.
Yep.
Okay. It does. All right. Well. This is the show. Like I said, we here to talk. So we're gonna go into what you've been gaming on. Then we're gonna get into these topics. Hopefully, we're not an hour past hour and 45 minutes. So let's go. Yeah. You know what time it is. It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. All right. So who want to go first? Don't be the first to jump up. All right, Keith, go ahead.
Yeah, I can go first because I hadn't been playing a lot. I went ahead and finished Pikmin 4.
Dang,
I actually had put it down for a day because the last boss. But then Nia told me she had beat it, and she was like, she went back and got some more Pikmin. And I was like, I can do that. And then I left, went back, got some more Pikmin. And I was like, well, I'll be. And so I went ahead and finished Pikmin 4. There's still a few things I need to do to wrap it up. As far as like trying to 100% complete things, I still got to find the purple onion to get my strong or purple Pikmin. And those Pikmin 1 is equal to 10. And there's this gold bar on there that's super heavy. So I need my big Pikmin to knock that out for me. But other than that, I haven't played Master Detective. I'm right there at the wire, I believe, to beat the game. I just haven't been. I don't know. I've been tired, been working a lot. Just been doing a lot of that. So I don't think I've played anything outside of that. Trying to see if I played any demos. Nope, that's all I've been playing.
Okay. So how long have you had Pikmin? It's not been but a week, hasn't it?
I had it on release. When did Pikmin come out? Pikmin 4.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Release.
No, it released like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
July 21st. Came out 21st.
So it ain't been that long like I thought. So about a week and a half.
2 weeks.
Yeah. About 2 weeks, yeah.
Keith, you feel like you got your money's worth?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, I will say, I feel like I need to go back and play Pikmin 3. I don't want to buy it, but I feel like I need to go back and play Pikmin 3. Pikmin 3, something about Pikmin 3 had this character, like even the character models, in my opinion, were a lot better. It had actual bosses, and I actually followed their story. Pikmin 4, I don't know if I really followed the story. I was skipping everything until like the end part when I realized that, it was getting serious. But yeah, man, it's good. But yeah, I kind of want to go back and play Pikmin 3. For anybody listening early, what are your thoughts on Pikmin 3 and Pikmin 4? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section because I feel like Pikmin 3 had something special about it. But that's just me.
Okay. All right. And I agree with you, Lewis. I missed something you said. You said too much woke poop. Really. But I agree that and I wish, first of all, we gotta snatch back woke because woke has been hijacked.
Lord have mercy.
Woke is not what that is. Woke was stolen, but it's too much. Let's just call it for what it is. Too much. And now we're not gonna do that. I'm not getting flagged, but y'all know what it's too much of. So we do it like that. Yeah. So because they hijack woke. Woke is not what. That's not what woke means, but it's been hijacked. No. But no, I feel you, and I agree with that, Lewis. So anyway, so Pikmin 4. Let us know how you feel between Pikmin 4 and Pikmin 3? That's what Keith asked. Let Keith know. You put it in the comment section. We'll bring it up during K-Bum's space to talk about what he's been gaming on. K-Bum, you're next.
About right.
I won't do it over.
That sound about right.
Dude, well, let me reframe that. I would do it when openings come in K-Bum's segment. If you put it up.
I don't believe that either.
Go ahead,
opening's gonna be a breath. No problem. So what I've been gaming on, I've been what have I been gaming on? What I spend the most time gaming, I would say 2K. I would say 2K. I spent the most time gaming on. The homies are back. They're back on 2K, and so we've been playing that almost every night, pretty much every other night. Hopping on with the homies playing 2K. So we're getting ready for the new one that's coming out. We're still waiting for some more information. So 2K is just going to wait till the last minute to give us information about the game, which I absolutely hate. But people think EA's bad, so people don't play enough 2K. But so getting ready for the new one that's coming out, and then secondly, I've been playing Marvel's Midnight Suns. I'm about 40 hours into the game. And I just noticed I just hit the second chapter. I was like, oh, I have a lot more game left. I'm just hitting chapter 2 out of, I think, 3 chapters. So I still got a good amount of game left. So it's still fun, but the talking is getting to be a little bit too much. So I'm actually skipping some of the dialogue because it's just too much talking in this. Let me get to the action. We can cut out some of that talking. So I've been doing that, and then on the background where I'm just doing my dailies is Overwatch, which I am getting very tired of that game. That game doesn't have a future anymore. The developers, I don't know if the developers killed it or if Blizzard themselves killed this game, or whoever made those decisions. But this game is pretty much dead. It's bad. It has no future. And the Overwatch League just died as well. So this is pretty bad. This game is well, Microsoft has it now. So congratulations. And then lastly, just been playing a little FIFA every now and then. Just I got a free 20 minutes. I won't spend get too much into the single player. Just dive in and play a little FIFA. So that's pretty much what I've been gaming on. And to the comment about Disney, yeah, I mean Disney is not too woke now. Disney has been doing this since Disney's been doing it. This isn't new. This is the people have just told you that hey, they're doing this when they've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, they've been doing it, but it's been more subtle. But yeah,
no, they've been doing it subtle beforehand. I remember there was a cartoon where they were telling you it was okay to have two moms, and it was like, okay, all right, good for you. No, it isn't new. People have been drawing more attention to it, but no, right. This is what they do. This is their MO, and you just got to be careful what you allow your kids to get into.
And it ain't just everything them.
Isn't.
Nickelodeon
No, it's not just them.
Did it with SpongeBob. There's a lot of cartoons that's doing it. I would say I agree with you. Disney has been doing this for a minute. But I feel like they're a little louder with it now, a little bit more just right in your face with it. When I would say back in the day, it was there. You seen it, but it wasn't as bold. I would say
it wasn't in everything they produced.
That's what I mean.
That's what it was. Right. And now pretty much everything in their produce is something they're catering to someone else, and it's completely obvious, but yeah, it's not brand new, but it is more. I will agree with that.
Yes. Okay, so do not flag us. But with that being said,
I thought we handled it well.
We did too. I thought we did. But so I guess it's my turn. So of course y'all know that I said that I purchased a few games last week.
That's
I
true.
purchased Horizon Zero, Forbidden West. And K-Bum, you was right, man. I hate when I have to do this. I started playing it and instantly knew I was not going to get into this game. But I'm going to give it some more time. I still See, it's not like God of War. God of War made me come down to the man cave and just clock out on everything else and play it, right? Miles Morales made me clock out on everything else to play it. Ratchet and Clank made me clock out on everything else to play it. Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West, it feels like a chore. Like, I got to remind myself, you bought that game, you need to go down there and play it. And that's how you know a game is not doing what it's supposed to do, when you have to remind yourself that you bought it and you need to play it to make your purchase worth the purchase. So that's kind of what's been going on there. Also, last week, I didn't bring this up. I want to bring it up this week. I went back and played Astro Bot.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to say this, man.
Think about it.
That game needs an actual game. Like, Sony needs to stop playing. They have a platformer that I won't say is better than Mario. It's not. But it's way better than a Lucky Tales and all these other platformers that, try to compete. This is about the closest to a Mario title that's not Mario that you're going to get. And in many elements, it surpasses what Mario does because they add things that Mario doesn't do.
Whoa.
I said in some elements. It's not better than Mario.
I know. I heard it.
Okay, so
I mean, but that alone is a big statement.
Yeah, like I think of certain things it was doing that you probably wouldn't see in a Mario game. Like, let me take that back, because Odyssey did some things that broke the mold. So I'll say it's on par with,
I said Galaxy did.
Galaxy did, but Mario Odyssey broke molds with bosses. I'm talking about like boss battles, like stuff that we never thought we would see in a Mario game. We saw in Odyssey that you wouldn't have saw in Galaxy. See what I'm saying? Like, gotcha. Galaxy bosses stayed true to Mario, where Odyssey bosses were really an Odyssey. They were odd. They were foreign to Mario, like the dragon, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, some of the tank stage where you shooting tanks and all that, and Astro Bot got those type of elements all through it. So in that sense, outside of Odyssey, it does a lot of what Odyssey does, but it's still not a better platformer than Mario. But it's a platformer that I think could rival or be up there with a Mario, but not as good, but in the respected. It's way better than Sonic. You know what I'm saying? So to me, they have a great title that they need to actually put some time and energy and put into a full-fledged title, not just a demo to showcase haptic feedback. But that game still hits hard like it hit then. But I didn't bring that up. I meant to bring that last week. But y'all know I bought 2 games, Double Dragon, Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons, and Real Boxing 2. So I've gotten a chance to play a little. No, wait, don't laugh just yet. I'm gonna shock y'all. Okay. I'm finna shock y'all. All right, so I got a chance to play a little bit more of the Double Dragon, and it has a rogue-like element to it where there's multiple corridors, so you kind of dungeon crawling a little bit, going through all these different sections in the game. So it's not just a typical beat 'em up. There's many ways to traverse through the stage that connects. So there's back rooms that connect to this part, so you can go multiple ways instead of going one way, and that's pretty dope. The fighting system is real simple, but I can see that it has a learning curve to master. So it's not like Streets of Rage, the new Streets of Rage. It's not like that in the combat system. It's a basic combat system, but hard to master. They have, initially you start off with 4 bosses, Cars, Jimmy, and Billy. Then you got this, I don't remember the dude's name, but you got this cop. He's a black guy. He's kind of your brawler. He's like your big dude, like your Hagar, so to speak. And then you have, who's the girl that Jimmy B always trying to save? I can't remember her name. But she's actually a playable character now, and she has a gun. So it's weird. They all control different. So Jimmy and Billy normally control the exact same. back in the day. Well, they gave them distinction.
Right.
Between, so Jimmy doesn't fight, Billy and Jimmy doesn't fight the exact same way. I think.
But it's Double Dragon. What you doing?
But you know, Billy has. I think it's Billy. It may be Jimmy. I can't remember which one. The blue one. Whoever does the blue one. I think that's Jimmy. Jimmy has the roundhouse. He retained the roundhouse, all the moves that you remember from all the original Double Dragons. He retains all those move sets, and they kind of gave Billy, which was my favorite character, the red character, they gave him a different move set. He's a little slower. He has more K-Bone, you know that character on Tekken with the long ponytail? What's his name? Is it not Fei Long? He'll put you in the mind of the dude who played Shere Khan in the movie Mortal Kombat. I can't think of the. You know the character I'm talking about, though, don't you? In Tekken,
I'm trying to.
The one that dude hit you with the back. He Chinese. He got the long ponytail. He ripped up, and his moves kind of like a lot of.
It's like Fei Long, something like that. Something like that.
Something like that. Well,
you're right.
Billy's moves are like that. He does that type of stuff. He doesn't have the roundhouse. He has an uppercut. He has so they different. But the game is dope. The game is dope. How you say that? What's up first? What's that, Phoenix Star? What's up, man? Everybody trying to get us right. Thank you. Read that, K-Bone. Make sure I'm getting that right. Feng Wei. Yes. Okay, so thank you, Phoenix Star 5 to the 1,000. Feng Wei, he fights like that. So one thing I would say is challenging about the game is you got to use tokens. You got to earn points. So if you died, you got to have 3 tokens to get it to continue. It's not you're not allowed to just start. You know how you die, you just start at that point, keep going. No, you gotta earn tokens. If you don't have no tokens, you gotta start over at the beginning. And you can start with any boss you want to start with, but as you traverse through the game, each other boss gets stronger as you beat a boss. So you beat this boss, the 3 next boss get stronger. And then you beat that boss, and the 2 next bosses are even stronger. And some of them take on different forms. Like they take on a more powerful form. So it's pretty interesting, man. I'm not going to say it's better than Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, or it's definitely not better than Streets of Rage. But it's definitely a good one. And we're going to talk about the whole beat 'em up, why I love beat 'em up. We'll get there. But I also bought for $1.99, actually 45 cents. I didn't get a chance to play it last week. I just downloaded it. And it was a game called Real Boxing 2. K-Bum and Keith went and checked out the game and said, why did you do this to yourself? And I'm going to tell you something. I like the game.
Oh, Lord gosh. Get your 45 cent back, man.
Please get
your 45 cent back.
For real, bro. It's not that bad. It's not bad at all. It has so much potential here, bro. It has so much potential. The graphics are not bad, but they are bad. I don't know how to explain that. They're not bad graphics. You could tell that with a little bit more vision, these graphics would be nice if the limbs moved, then twerk and torque weird like they do.
That's when I think he can't get worse.
Visuals. They're not bad visuals, but they are bad visuals. The boxing is not bad, but it's bad. It's a game that lets you. It's like
not bad, but it's bad.
It's not bad. I know that sounds stupid as I don't know what, but it's the truth. It's one of those games. Okay, we boxing. Keith, we boxing was bad, right? It was bad. Can we all say that?
For what it was.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. This is pretty. It's a little better than okay for what it is. It's like Wii boxing. No, it wasn't good. No, it wasn't nothing you finna brag about. But it was good enough to where you kept playing. That you didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with playing. Actually, I played for a good minute, even though it was some broken controls. Everything didn't register like you wanted. But when it hit, and it felt good. That's how this game feels. It doesn't feel finished. It doesn't feel. It feels like some amateurs made it, but it feels like they own to something. That's how it feels.
How many punches did you land on purpose?
I land every punch that I wanted to land. The problem with the game is not the punching. The problem with the game is the blocking. It's not everything. Is not everything. Is just not to the best it possibly could be, and that's what it is. It's like it's there. It has the potential. You can dodge. You can. It's just everything don't quite work right. That's what it feels like. Everything doesn't quite work right, but it doesn't feel bad. But it's not good. That's how it is. It's definitely not good, but it doesn't feel like a game. Like, man, that's it ain't that for me. I'm like, but it may be because I only spent 40-something cents on it. But I played it for a good minute. And my daughters, we was up there, I'm like, man, this is not that bad, honestly. It really isn't. So, I would love for y'all.
Down bad.
I would love for y'all. I would love for y'all to play this game. It's only $1, y'all. You're not losing nothing.
No, I'm losing
$1.
I'm losing time.
Keith, you may have so much currency and change that it's free for you. So anyway, that's what I played. A little bit of Mario, new Mario Karts. I think I don't care about Mario Kart 8 no more. I'm ready for a new Mario Kart. But that's what I played. I was rather. This is crazy. I would go back to playing real boxing too before I played Forbidden West. That's crazy, but that's the truth. It's not because it's anywhere near Forbidden West. Forbidden West just feels like a chore, and I don't.
Have you opened it up yet? Are you got out that little town?
Nope, it's a chore.
I told you. I told you it opens up. It gets better once you get out that town.
Okay, I'll do that. Right now,
it does get better. I said that last week. It gets better when you get out the town.
All right,
but that town is an absolute chore, bro. It is.
Well, right now we renovating our new location, and I've been doing a whole lot of work. So Forbidden West is gonna have to hold up. I need them turn off your brain games for an hour. That's Double Dragon. So I ain't got time to invest. So anyway, that's what I've been gaming on. So let's get to the next part of the show. So what do y'all want to talk about? Do we want to talk about Switch 2 news? Do we want to talk about Starfield marketing? Why I love beat 'em ups? Or how has...
go, man.
Let me get the beat 'em ups out the way, because then we can. But I am happy, piggybacking on what I've been gaming on. I am happy to see the return of what I would say classical beat 'em ups. So y'all noticed that we have had a return to, back in the day what we loved, what the arcades. Double Dragon was an arcade game, and Turtles was first in the arcade. Streets of Rage started on the Genesis. I've been really enjoying this return to that classical side-scroller beat 'em up that turn off your brain, don't require you to invest much of anything. Just pick up, push to the right, and push A and B and have a good old time. We had a lot of those games back on the NES, Super NES, and somewhat on the N64s, and it kind of began to move away. N64 on, we started losing those side scroller type beat 'em ups. So, I guess what I'm asking y'all is, first of all, were y'all beat 'em up fans, and how do you feel about beat 'em ups finding their space, prominent space in Game of the Day, not just back of the log indie titles that you go through your eShop or your PlayStation Store or Microsoft, whatever they got. I don't even know what Microsoft's is. And you find that beat 'em up all the way down in the menu somewhere, and nostalgia hits you, and you play it. I'm talking about actually coming to the forefront, being treated with respect, advertised, talked about by the major gaming media sites, and like Streets of Rage was, like Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and then the other bringing all the Ninja Turtles back on the Cowabunga. I still got to get that. How do y'all feel about beat 'em ups kind of finding a space in the mainstream of gaming today?
Man, I personally, I played them, 90s kid, because they were available, but they were never my cup of tea. It's just something about them. Either I just wasn't good, which could be the case. But I did play them like
How
Turtles.
you not good at a beat 'em up? You could beat Metroid on the hardest level.
I'm talking when I was a kid.
Oh,
when I was a kid, I couldn't really get through them.
Like what?
Like I'll get far deep into the game and I will lose, and I had to start over. And one thing about me, man, you see how I did with Spider-Man. If I got to start over, it ain't gonna happen. So, same with Detroit. Detroit Become Human. Man, I was enjoying myself. I might actually go back and play that, but
that's a great game.
When that file got corrupt, I was like, that's it for me. But no, I appreciate them coming back because me and my boys, we were able to beat Shredder's Revenge, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I might get the Streets of Rage 4 so we can play through that as well. So when it comes to like multiplayer, I'm happy to see them coming back. Specifically, that side scroller version of beat 'em ups. I know me and you talked offline a little bit before about 3D beat 'em ups, but specifically those side scrollers where everybody can see what's going on. When it comes to me and my kids, it's great. If I didn't have them or they weren't around, I probably wouldn't even look twice. I probably wouldn't even play Turtles Revenge, honestly.
So. Wow. Okay. K-Bomb.
Yeah. So I'm actually I played beat 'em ups back in the day. I played Streets of Rage. I played Battletoads. I played Double Dragon. I'm trying to think what else I played. There's some other probably off the brand Walmart versions of beat 'em up I played.
Simpsons.
Simpsons, and that was another one that I had as far as beat 'em ups that I played. I can't remember. Yeah, so I played them back in the day. I did. I played the arcade game, so the Turtles game. Me and my brother, some of my fondest memories on the Nintendo was playing the Turtles arcade game. Forget that first Turtles game. That crap was hard. The Turtles arcade games. Had a great time with my brother doing that. Also, X-Men.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome, right?
That
I couldn't beat that either.
Bro,
Man,
that was
quarters. You talking about quarters? What about
Avengers?
Avengers? What about
Avengers?
That was
Avengers. Yeah, Avengers. Yeah, Captain America and the Avengers. Absolutely. I put all my money into those beat 'em ups, and every time we went to our Pizza Hut, we loved going to the one that had the X-Men. That's what Pizza Hut we wanted to go to, the one that had the X-Men, because we was gonna get some quarters in. And I did it. I played all of them, but now that I'm a little older, my taste kind of changes, right? Because beat 'em up went through a metamorphosis as we kind of grew up and the 3D space opened up. The side-scrolling beat 'em ups were no longer the thing, right? And so hack and slash became the new
right. We were talking about that. That's what me and Keith were talking about.
Yeah, hack and slash became the new beat 'em up. But there's actually I enjoyed the new some of the new beat 'em up, but not for the same reason. It's just that it feels more nostalgic. So playing me and my brother finally beat X-Men before. That was awesome. And then Level, we played with you to actually beat the Turtles game. But there is a beat 'em up game that I actually enjoy, but it was a newer age type of beat 'em up. And if you kind of look at it, you wouldn't think it's a beat 'em up, but it is. And it does have more classic. It has classic tales of beat 'em up, but it was a game that I had on this cast for over a year. Said I wanted to play, and actually got a chance to beat it, and that was Sifu.
Okay.
Sifu is a beat 'em up game. It takes characteristics from even kind of the original beat 'em up game that Kung Fu Masters, but then it has a real 3D modern take on the beat 'em up genre with the whole replayability type of thing that you just don't have with the Turtles game. Like the replayability isn't the same when it's not quarters involved.
Hold up, K-Bum. This is what you're watching here is the X-Men side scroll beat 'em up that K-Bum was talking about.
Oh Lord,
I'll pull up
memories.
Avengers as well here in a second. Yeah, man, this was the game, boy.
That was the
remember
game.
They had the dual TVs and you can walk across the TV and it kept like, bro, that was dope.
Yep, yeah.
And
it was the 8-player one.
TVs.
Yeah, I the 8-player one. That's one I love.
Yeah, that's the one with the dual TVs. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the game. But Sifu is my I was just watching it. It's funny. Before I came down here. I watched someone do a complete run of Sifu, and that game was so awesome. And even watching someone play that game who's really good at it, it's artistic, man. So So Sifu is my take on. I see what you're saying about the beat 'em ups, and I enjoy that game. It's not the old school type of beat 'em up, but it has elements of that old school type of side scrolling, because a couple parts of the map you actually do the side scrolling type of beat 'em up. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, man, I was a beat 'em up fanatic. I was at the arcade, videos and cream, as much as I possibly can on them beat 'em ups. I didn't have enough money to be at the arcade sometimes. Probably $2, and you know back then that was it. And Cruising USA would be the last game I played, and I'd get out of there. But
Hydro Thunder
was another one. Do y'all remember Punisher?
I do not.
I don't remember.
Yeah, they had the Punisher as well. So yeah, I was big on beat 'em up. Now I said another beat 'em up that don't get credit was Batman on the NES. It was one player, but that was
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember Batman on the NES? Oh man, bro, I need to pull that up. Hold up, let me let this play a little bit longer. But yeah, man, I'm glad
this is my game though. Oh, the Gold Vision.
Yeah.
Oh, the Gold Vision. Yeah, that's the game.
Yeah, this was my game. Now this one was hard.
It was very hard.
This was real hard. I never could get past the second section of this. I don't know that. It was just hard, but I liked how it played though. It played a little bit better than the X-Men's, but it didn't look as good. But it played in some ways better. But yeah, man, I'm glad that these games are returning. I'm glad they're starting to find they respect and reverence in today's gaming, and it's good to see that, man. Because I believe that we need diversity. We need and it need to be treated as prominent, like give these games some respect and space to breathe in this, overly graphical, story-driven, top AAA world that we live in. It's good to see these smaller titles get some love, like Double Dragon and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, and Streets of Rage. I think Streets of Rage 4. It's dope to see that stuff back and getting this love and getting treated with respect. And I hope it continues. I don't know what else they can bring up, but I'm here for it because a beat 'em up, I can play a beat 'em up any day of the week. And I don't have to invest so much time. I don't feel like I'm I'm losing anything because I didn't pick up for a day. Because I can get so far in the end of the day. You can probably beat it in a couple of hour setting. But anyway, what was that other one you said, K-Bum? You mentioned one I wanted to pull up. Oh, Batman. NES. Let me pull that up real quick. Anything else before we get out of here on this topic? Anything else before? All right. So this was the Batman on the NES right here. This game was dope. It kind of put you in the mind of Mega Man, but it was or Ninja Gaiden. I'll say more like Ninja Gaiden, which that was another dope one. But this is a beat 'em up, but not like Double Dragon type of beat 'em up. So it's more of a platformer, to be honest with you. But anyway, So what else? So,
yeah, okay. Yeah, I do remember this Batman.
So what else? Why did it do that? Anyway, where we want to go next? Let's go on. Let's go with Starfield marketing, and then we get to the. Then we go to Switch 2. So as y'all see, Starfield is coming out when September the 6th or 9th.
The 6th, I believe.
The 6th. So Starfield, it had a lot of issues going on with it. A lot of, the first showing was bad. Microsoft kind of dropped the ball, but they kind of redeemed themselves with this showcase that they had. What was that? June? Was that in June or was that July?
E3 time. I think it was June. So it was E3 time.
Yeah, second week of June. So they kind of redeemed themselves. I remember us coming on here talking about Microsoft redeemed themselves with the showing of Starfield. But since then, we have seen no trailers, no marketing for this game. So Keith was asked the question, and I think I saw others asking this question as well. But he asked us the question, do we find it strange that Starfield has yet to have any promotion or marketing? And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really think about it because we have been talking about Starfield and the need for Microsoft to deliver with this title that I guess when they had their showcase, I kind of tuned out because I was relieved that they finally did something and then it wasn't taking L's. You know what I'm saying? It was good to see that they wasn't in the L land anymore. But now that I think about it, Microsoft has not in any kind of way marketed Starfield for September, and that's literally next month. We're halfway through August, and we're at the top of August. We got a month, literally a month from now. And most of the time, these games are being marketed, 4 or 5 months out?
Even.
Or at least 2, 3, right?
More than that, depending on title.
Yeah. Well, I know God of War is being marketed about a year out. So what's the deal? I'm going to bring you in, Keith, because you kind of brought this up. What is going on with the marketing? Should we be concerned? Is this really a sign that something may be delayed? What's your thoughts?
Oh, I had a million thoughts on this. And a lot of them were negative. And in a way, they're still kind of negative, but because it's interesting that, such a game that they're pretty much putting the whole Xbox ecosystem on their back with this game, it seems, with the fan base. And it's just interesting that there's Gamescom is coming up. There will be no playable demo of this game on the floor, I suppose. That's what I read. I think it was last year, whenever the first time we saw a deep dive in this game, it looked janky. The next time we saw it, we saw a lot more polished, to the point where I'm kind of excited. I kind of want to see where this is going to go.
Yeah.
But we have to consider this. The way they showed Starfield in their deep dive, they didn't show us a vertical slice of like a story mission or anything like that. They just showed us these are the things that you can do in this universe. So I'm of two minds. They don't want to spoil anything, so they're trying to keep everything under wraps. Or we're gonna just tell you all of this stuff that you can do to get you hype, but we're not really ready to show this game because it's still not there yet. From the visuals to the frames to the so on and so forth. So they're probably crunching right now, trying to get this game to a state of we can now show it, hoping that they can meet that September 6th deadline. That's what I think that's going on. They've showed us all of this stuff to get you hyped, to kind of hold you over. We're going to give them 30 minutes, I think it was like 30 plus minutes of information to hold him over, and hopefully that will be enough, because whatever we're doing at this point moving forward, we're crunching. And I think that's what they're doing. The reason they're not trying to show a trailer or market anything like that is because they don't have time. They're too busy trying to make sure they can meet that deadline. which also scares me a little bit because I'm at the point where it's like, if you're a month out and you feel like this game is not ready, I personally would delay it.
Has it went what they call that status when they say it's is it gold or
Gold means is all the coding is done, and they have put it on the master disc that they're going to use to make the all the CDs, all the copies off of. That's what gold means.
I guess my question is, has it went gold status yet?
No, it's not gold.
That's concerning.
It's still not gold. Well, okay.
So. No, it's not gold. No.
So let me ask this, and then I'm bring you in, K-Bum. I want to give Keith a chance to answer it. Then I bring you in on it. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like all this back and forth over Activision has distracted them to where they may have dropped the ball with Starfield in the marketing?
No, I don't think this game was probably ever at that point. I think they've gotten it, enough to where they can show all the working parts, all of the integral things that you could do with the customization of the ship, the characters. They showed us variations of the map, the gunplay. So they showed us a lot of stuff. But I don't think the Activision ABK deal, I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think these dudes have been working hard to make sure that they don't pull a Redfall. So I think that's what they're focused on right now. And they say they believe that they can make that date, September 6th. Okay. Like I said, I say if it's not ready, push it back. I know you can put a game out and fix it on the back end, but the state of Xbox, I don't think you can afford to do that. I think you have to put out a good game, a good working game, day one.
Okay.
My opinion.
They don't have space to do a Cyberpunk. They don't have space for a Cyberpunk.
All right, the floor is yours, man. Same questions. Take the floor.
Yeah. So this is not a jab at you, Keith. So just take it. If it was leveled, then I'll say be prepared to be offended. But it's not a jab at you. But I call bull crap on that whole we're working too hard to put out information about this game. Because the reason why I say that, when you work for a big company, and I work for a big company, I work in software development. You're not the one putting together the trailers. Yeah, that's what we had a marketing team for, right? And
I thought about that when I was talking. So
I call bullcrap because you have a whole marketing team that puts together. You send out whatever the way they capture the information or capture the video, and maybe you get a developer for maybe a day, and you do a little mock interview where you already know what you're going to talk about, and that's kind of how you have your marketing, but your whole marketing team takes care of that. So I know they say they've. I think Paris said something. So on the likes of, I don't know. Somebody said on Twitter. I can't name exactly what it was, but just talking the fact that they've done some marketing, just that people haven't really noticed, right? And to me,
the trailer I showed was actually a commercial. But go ahead.
But here's my problem. If you've done marketing and people haven't noticed. Have you actually done marketing? Isn't that the point of your marketing? So people can notice. So I do think something's wrong. I don't think this game is quite ready yet. I do agree with you, Keith, and I do believe they are working hard to get this game ready. But I don't believe they are themselves 100% confident that it's going to be September 6th. With that being said, I'll say this. Companies have been releasing information about their games later and later. Well, let me take that back. Games that are yearly releases you've seen their information about their game been released later and later. Point in case, 2K still hasn't really said anything about their game, and it comes out in September. Madden they did their first gameplay full game this week, and it comes out. and we still have no idea what the next Call of Duty is going to look like. And that comes out in October, probably October, November timeframe. Usually November timeframe, actually. So some of these yearly titles they do release their information later and later. But something like a Jedi Survivor, we knew about that, right? Even look at the Dead Space remake. They had plenty of videos showing us the Dead Space remake and all the developers' insight on that and what they're doing. There was plenty of information about that. There is a video that we saw 2 years ago that was crap, and then the one that we saw at E3, which I think they did an excellent job of showcasing the game, but it's been dead silent since. And I do believe, and I don't like to be, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I like to work off of facts, but there is space to speculate. There is space, and when it's this big of a game, which is supposedly be the savior of Xbox, and you haven't seen anything of substance, I'll say that. Maybe it is marketing, like Level said, the commercial, but there hasn't been anything of substance that's got people's attention. And you come out in almost a month, in a couple of days, it'll be a month. I personally, I do worry. And I don't think they're going to release this game on time. I hope they do, because Spider-Man scared the crap out of me because they didn't release the information, but they're hitting hard now. But I don't think this game is going to make it on time. I hope they do, though. I hope they surprise me, and I'm just talking out my butt, and they surprise me. But I don't think they will.
When does Spider-Man come out?
October.
So Spider-Man comes out a month later, and Spider-Man has already had a blowout for Spider-Man 2. Now, again, they did have that blowout for this game. They had a big press conference for it. So are they counting that as promotion and marketing?
It is. It absolutely is. That was a 30 to 40 minute view of your game. That is absolutely the same thing, if not more, than what Spider-Man has done.
Okay, then the next question I had to ask.
But that was in June.
Right, that was in June.
That's a long
Spider-Man
time.
was in July. So are we being unfair to say...
No, Spider-Man came out with another story-driven video.
I'm saying,
that's about a couple weeks from now.
Well, matter of fact, let me reframe that.
That was a couple weeks.
Spider-Man showed a trailer. Didn't Spider-Man show a trailer before that Xbox press conference? We had already seen Spider-Man.
Yeah, we already seen Spider-Man. Because Sony had their press conference.
Before that, and then they showed a bigger blowout of it a few recently. So Microsoft had the big blowout. Okay, so do they? Okay,
and their game is a month away now.
So I would say this. Clearly, to me, Starfield is not a casual game.
It's not.
So
it's niche.
It seems like it's a hardcore game. It's for the hardcore, and I think that's maybe. But this is a big game too. You spent. You spent
same thing as the game. What is that? What's that game came out?
Let me finish though, because I'm finna.
I'm let you finish. I'm
finna contradict my own. What I just said, I'm gonna contradict it in the same sentence.
The say Zelda was like. I kept saying Zelda was like this game. Elden Ring. Elden Ring is niche.
Yeah,
it got marketed the crap out. So you still got to market it, man.
Well, I'm finna contradict my whole statement. You just spent how many billions on Bethesda?
Couple of billion.
And you bought it for this game, right? This was the game you were trying to supposedly keep from Sony. So they need to market, but they have marketed, but it's oddly not as loud and prominent as it should, as we would normally think a game of this stature would be. So it does say at the Redfall, at the Halo. And then they redeemed themselves a month or so ago with this title. To go kind of dormant and silent is strange. That is strange.
Yes.
That's strange. So that's why I was wondering, K-Bum, you kind of kicked that out, because marketing should continue to do what marketing does, no matter what Phil and the rest are doing to get Activision secured. Marketing still is marketing. right?
Yep.
Yep.
But if your leader is tied up, okay, so they already got their budget.
That's not how businesses work.
So they already have their budget and everything for marketing.
You have a roadmap already set up. If you're working in any type of business, you are already forecasting what you're going to do in the next quarter.
Okay.
I don't buy that at all.
So that was this already. This I not know this. I'm just playing devil's advocate just for conversation purposes. So this has already been dredged through, talked about, mapped out, budgeted, the whole nine. That's been done already.
Months in advance.
Right. So what is going on here?
Exactly.
Something is going on. What is going on here? Because with literally 4 weeks left before the game come out, because this literally today is the 3rd. So we literally have a month and 3 days before this game comes out. So they must have a lot of confidence on what they have done so far, which is only redeem it from the place it was at when people was like, this is going to be another train wreck. They have redeemed it. They have gotten us to talk positive. And K-Bum, you looking to buy Xbox Series X in a month.
Chill, bro.
Maybe about Christmas time. You have an Xbox Series X. I did something, y'all. I got a surprise. I know how you are. It'll be a surprise. Anyway, is your wife listening? I don't want to get you in trouble. I ain't trying to get the cat out the bag. But so yeah, this is a little odd. Now that I'm really, at first it was like, I don't know. We've seen a lot of it, so. But now that y'all kind of how it's been framed, this is a little strange that we haven't seen any more commercials and trailers for it or anything like that. That is no promotions for it. At least I haven't. So that is a little odd.
And not being playable is okay.
Yeah, I'm not talking about being playable. Okay. I'm saying you ain't even win.
Some people was saying that because of not being playable at
it ain't even win gold. Bro, it's normally games like this are already gold by this time.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect this game to be gold yet.
You don't think 3-4 weeks out?
This game,
it'd probably be good.
If 2 weeks out, if it's not gold yet, then we got problems.
So that's enough time to get them pressed up and shipped out.
Let's talk about it though for a second. What if this game comes out September 6th and it's another Redfall? How does this impact Microsoft, Xbox specifically?
Oh, dude, this is that's devastating. That's CD. That's Cyberpunk for CD Projekt Red.
No, that's THQ bad.
Yeah. All right. Let's we gonna have to we can't stay because I want to get to the main topic, and that's the Switch and deal with our two last topic. But let us know in the comment section what y'all think. Is something awry with Starfield, or is something going on behind the scenes that suggests that this game is not going to meet that deadline? I would think if they was going to delay it, they would have been unsaid it by now. You don't think so?
Nah, I think they still are. They want to wait till as late as they can because they don't want to. If they can get it out, they will.
Okay.
So I think it's that close where it's like we might be able to squeeze it out.
They can't have a Redfall with this. They can't have a Halo.
They can't.
They don't. They can't afford it. Now, if this was,
you can't apologize again.
No, they don't apologize 3 times. I think it's 3 times. Halo was an apology. Redfall was an apology, and what else? There was another title that they apologized for. What'd you say?
Craig from Halo, the guy from Halo.
No, this was the game. They apologized about this early on and redeemed it. But,
they did.
Okay, so, well, anyway, y'all, let us know what y'all think in the comment section on that. We're going to move on to our next topic, and that is the main thing that has taken place this week. We all have kind of been waiting and wondering when Nintendo, or not necessarily Nintendo, when was something going to drop that was worthy of dialogue on Nintendo's next system. So over the week, this past week, there have been some news. I'm finna pull it up. I thought I had it up, but I didn't. And that the Nintendo Switch 2 is definitely in. The dev kits are in developers' hands, and they are projecting that the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called will be coming no later than Q4 of 24. So I'm gonna find this article on Polygon. Give me a second, but Keith, I'm gonna bring you back in, man. When you saw this news kind of begin to, it's still in leak, so take everything with a grain of salt. You know, everybody else say that. We might as well say it here too. What did you think when you saw this news being kind of leaked a little bit?
I was shocked that there was news being leaked. Let's just put that out there. I was shocked to see something, but when I saw it and when it seemed like it was a reputable source, I was like, let me shoot this out and see what y'all think. And then I was just kind of going through the comments of what other people thought about it. For me, I was more so not looking for anything specific outside of dates, because I feel like the dates make more sense, because you're looking at the Switch's success. I think I can't remember. I feel like it was December 2015 when they was like, is it 2015? I think it was, or 2016. 2016. Okay, I feel like it was December 2016 when we got the reveal, and then in March we got the console, or the hybrid, or whatever you want to call it. So to say this one is being pushed to 2024, fourth quarter 2024, I kind of find that odd. But on the flip side of that, I do feel like the reason it's being pushed that way is because of the success of the original Switch. Maybe they're trying to get more and more consoles sold.
I can answer that real quick. So the thought is, with the Switch, because of the situation with the Wii U, Nintendo went with March to just get away from the Wii U. And somebody brought this up, and I thought it was a good point. They said, remember, the Switch launched with a lot of things still not ready on it.
That's true.
I remember there's a lot of stuff that we had to get that came later. I can't remember all them different features, but like Bluetooth, was some
headsets? I think it was Bluetooth headsets.
Yeah, then some online components. It was a lot of things that was still not available at launch that would normally be out the box ready. It wasn't on the Switch.
True.
And they kind of said it was because they was really trying to get away from under the waterfall the waterfall that was the Wii U, and they were trying to get away, get out of that. And so they launched the Switch in March, and that kind of made my heart stop, because I was hoping Nintendo just had struck gold and would do it again. But it kind of made sense. They were trying to rush themselves out of the Wii U situation, but I thought it worked, and I thought they may stick with that strategy. And I got an inkling that they may, but it, like you were saying, it does make sense. Fourth quarter, but go ahead. You were saying I didn't want to take your thunder.
It does make sense fourth quarter, because then you got to consider that you got the Princess Peach game coming. I can't remember when the Luigi's Mansion. I don't know if Luigi's Mansion was this year or next year.
I think it's next.
So you got a lot of current Switch games that's going to be good. You got Mario Wonder. I was going to say Mario Wonder. You good? God, no. No more you. You got Mario Wonder coming out. You got the Princess.
What are they naming the Switch U? Lord have mercy. What if they did that?
Boy. Man, I wouldn't buy it. I'll wait. I'll say, what you think?
That's funny.
But no, you got a lot of prominent games coming out. In potential DLCs, maybe some Zelda DLC. So I don't know. I just think that when I heard, like I said, when I heard it, I was just trying to check the dates to see if everything kind of lined up and made sense, because we know their fiscal year, I don't know if it either begins or ends in March.
Yeah, I believe. Q1 starts in March.
Okay.
Q1
so
Q1 for the starts in March.
So
starts
Q4
actually halfway in March.
So it'd be Q4 for us and maybe Q3 for them starting. I don't know, but I would just like that was the only thing I was concerned about. I wasn't looking for power. Wasn't looking for specs. I wasn't looking for any of that, and I know we're gonna get into that a little bit later if we have time. But I wasn't looking for any of that. I was just looking for the releases. I mean, when the times line up, and I know we talked about it several times on here. I'm ready for a new Switch. I'm ready for a new Switch. But in my honest opinion, man, I still have been enjoying the Switch and the games that they have been releasing. Now, that doesn't say that I don't want one, but I've been enjoying the games. And to me, at the end of the day, that's the bottom line. And no matter what they do with the new console hybrid or whatever it's going to be, I hope that they got games lined up. Because like I said, they still got a lot of good games still lined up for next year for the Switch. So that will be my...
Which is great.
Absolutely.
So let me read this article. So it says, this is from Polygon. Why is it doing that? Anyway, why are you doing that, man? So it says Nintendo's next-gen console is slowly coming into focus. So Nintendo's next-gen console is starting to come into focus. The Switch successor is slated for release in the second half of 2024, according to a new report from VGC. Citing anonymous developer sources, some key partner studios reportedly already have development kits for the device. While details on Nintendo's next-gen hardware are was scant. Is that how to say that? Yes. It will reportedly be playable as a portable device, so it will be like the Switch, and it says that just like the Switch, and will support cartridge-based games. The system will reportedly feature a LCD screen. How do y'all feel about that? Let's park there over a OLED screen. So supposedly that the Switch is going back to an LCD screen to cut cost. That's what it says, which aligns with reports from Bloomberg that Sharp is manufacturing LCD screens for a new gaming console. So one of the things was they said is going back to this LCD screen for the purposes of keeping costs down, which, knowing Nintendo, makes sense to me.
Makes sense. I think that's a mistake, though.
I don't. I really don't. I don't, because it gives them the option to have a new iteration down the road with an OLED screen.
You pay for another one.
Basically. So I see the strategy. And it ain't going to hurt me because I'm going to be docked all day long. So anyway, the latest report on what is, how do you say that? Anyway, known as the COLL
struggling.
I'm struggling.
I can't see it.
It's right there in there first. The latest report on colloquially known as, boy, I was not going to get that. Switch 2 is in line with, I'm not finna even try to say, Nikkei's Edge reporting from May. What y'all gonna start reading this stuff? Which said console is in the works and could be ready next year. VGC editor-in-chief Andy Robinson said in a video discussing now I'm struggling with everything. Discussion supplementing his story that he expects the floodgates are going to open. So he's expecting that more is going to be coming here soon, and more studios get their hands on, as more studio gets their hands on Nintendo's next gen dev kits. Nintendo has not formally announced its next console and has effectively ruled out releasing one anytime prior to April the 1st, 2024. So apparently that's when the next the physical year ends will be April, I guess. So I guess March. February, March, April. So yeah, April will be the beginning of the new year. The company said earlier this year that it wants to bolster Switch sales with new games and add-on content. Nintendo current lineup includes, well, we ain't got to go through all that. Y'all know, Keith just said it, Mario Wonder, Detective Pikachu Returns, Super Mario RPG, WarioWare, Move It, Princess Peach next year, Pokemon Scarlet Violet, The Hidden Treasures, all that Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon remake, all that jazz. Y'all know what it is. So anyway, it got some more down here, but I don't want to keep reading all this stuff because I'm tongue-tied up. So Nintendo president, I'm not even trying to, Furukawa addressed the company next year obligated, saying that it hopes to provide a smooth transition for the Switch to a new platform. So what that says to me is, I know everybody trying to talk about backwards compatibility, and they already letting us know that we're going to keep the same online, the IDs and all that. I believe it's going to have backwards compatibility. I really do. But anyway, awesome. I'll read some more. K-Bun, what's your thoughts so far? What you feel? Are we on the brink?
Yeah, I think it's right around the corner. I think it makes sense to be very close. They're definitely seeing sales slow down. I believe I was reading the report, and in the last 3 years, each year it is becoming less and less Switches being sold each year. So it is slowing down. So it does make sense to still catch it while the iron is hot, right? They don't want a Wii situation on their hands where that thing was pretty much dead by the time they moved on to their next system. And they don't want to be rushed to move on. So I think this makes sense. The reporting makes sense because we've heard not only from this source, but we heard from other sources, one of them being Bobby Kotick, talking about the new Switch and it being down the pipeline. So to me, it all makes sense. I think this is good for them. I think this is a good decision. I think this is the route they should be going. They're still producing good games, which is what you want to do. You don't want to be at a point where you have nothing coming out of your current console and people have to switch. So I still think it's good. It's good, right? That they have some good games lined up for next year to go along with their new console, and hopefully they've spent enough time to also get some new games up and coming. Metro Prime, I don't know, maybe to get some new games lined up for Tears of Kingdom remake. I don't know. Get some new games lined up for their new system, which is going to be look like a portable system as well, which is right in their I guess is their wheelhouse. I think that's their pocket right now, and I think they have that market, and I think they own that market. They've always been the dominant ones in the handheld market, and this console hybrid system, and I think it just screams Nintendo. Because it does stuff that they do very well, which is handhelds and also different experiences that you don't get from everyone else. And I think it's perfect for them. And this is why this has been one of the best-selling systems Nintendo's ever produced. And hopefully they can continue with the next system with some more power. It's about time.
So, and we're going to talk about
that's my
that.
stance.
So I'll say this. I believe that there is possibly a lot of truth to that end of the year 24 release, because what helped the Switch was also Breath of the Wild being launched with it.
Yep.
That was a benefit for the Switch, having Breath of the Wild launching alongside with it, even though it was a cross-platform game. It was released on the Wii U as well. All of us used that as an excuse to move on from the Wii. Because if they had made Zelda for the Wii U, Breath of the Wild, and not put it on the Switch, I think a lot of people would have waited until they beat Zelda. You know what I'm saying? And held off, because it would have been their arms and take.
Not the horns.
1-2 switch, and that wasn't. Breath of the Wild was the game for that system. It was the seller. Then, you saw Mario Odyssey. So, and I definitely believe we're not going to see Mario at the launch because they just gave us Wonder. So you're not going to gobble into those sales too quick. You want to see, especially even if, it probably will come at the end of the year. But I'm leaving out hope for a April release. I'm leaving out hope. But with that being said, and I guess it's a non-brainer. Do you want it earlier or later, or does it matter? Either one of y'all.
Hey, well,
I would actually say later, which is probably a little weird, but I would actually say later, towards the holiday holiday season.
And what would be your reason for that, for you personally?
For me personally,
Yeah.
probably playing my Xbox. I don't know.
Let's look at it. You gonna have Oh, okay, that was a very selfish. Okay, but I did say your reason. So, Keith, what would you be earlier or later for you?
Believe it or not, you can make it later. I don't feel like I'm in any rush. Outside of just staying alive.
That's funny.
Which is something you gotta consider.
But no, I'm not in any rush. Like I said, man, they got a lot of games still on the horizon that's still coming out, and I just like you said, level the Switch was missing a lot of features. So, bro, y'all are winning. Like, y'all are ahead of the game. Almost 130 million consoles sold worldwide.
Yeah.
Like, yo, take your time. Make sure it's right. There's no need for you to rush. And nobody else is playing in your space. PlayStation isn't playing in your space. Sure, they got the Q coming out, but that's just kind of like a secondhand thing. You got to hope the not third party, but the hardcore gamers buy into that. You know what I'm saying? Take your time. Make sure the features are right. Give us all the things that you wanted to give us with the Switch. Make it later. We're good. We're good here. Just hold the line, as they say with the Xbox. Hold the line. Just hold the line.
So I'm gonna be selfish. I'm only saying this for selfish reasons. I want it as early as they could possibly get it to. I do. I want it as early as if they could give it to me next week. Bring it on. But I'm just ready for it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to unpack something new from Nintendo. I'm ready to see what's next. But it ain't gonna. If I gotta wait till the end of the year, I have to wait till the end of the year. Now, I am torn. I do want at some point to get the Xbox Series X, but they just have not given me a reason. So not even Starfield would be the reason for me to get it. So wait until the end of the year. Yeah, it'd just be mortality. That'd be the only reason. But I'll be, hey, give me that mug as soon as you can give it to me. But so anyway, let me ask this other question, and it was in our topic, and I think it was appropriate to ask: how has the power race affected Nintendo? And let me set this up. Microsoft and Sony has made power their quintessential thing, like more power, more capability, more polygons, more teraflops, more of everything. And Nintendo has kind of found this lane to where they don't necessarily have to beat to that drum, and yet it's found success. So I was thinking about the fact that when we look at Nintendo, since we're looking for more, but in a different sense. We're looking for more for Nintendo, not more like we don't put the same expectations on Nintendo and Sony, on Sony and Microsoft that we do with Nintendo. We give Nintendo this unspoken pass in these departments. Yet the system is selling way more than Microsoft, and killing Sony. It's gonna be a while before Sony catch up. See what I'm saying?
It'll be a while.
So I was thinking like one. I guess it's a multi-layered question. So let me just stay with the first question. How has the power race affected Nintendo, and how has it affected you in how you look at Nintendo when it comes to power? Do you not even look for them in that? Do you not even look at them in that way anymore? And is that a good or bad thing? I guess who want to go first? K-Ball.
I can go first.
Go ahead, K-Ball.
Oh, okay.
I can go first. So I think there still is a level of adequate power that they need to be able to produce. I don't because I don't think they can come out with the next Switch and it be the same, if not a slight improvement to this Switch, and still everyone be like, yeah, we'll do it again. I don't think they can do that. But they don't have to say, this is going to be the Steam box, right? They don't have to. They don't have to compete with a Steam box. But what you still need to be able to do is have enough so that third-party developers can make the game they want on your system without sacrificing too much. And so I think they still have to find a happy medium. But as we're talking about it, because the fact is handheld, you're not expecting 4K. You're not expecting 4K 60 like you're expecting from Sony and Xbox. So I think from that they get a pass, right? Because you guys were playing 30 frames per second Zelda, right? And you weren't saying, man, I wish this was 60 frames. I mean, maybe, but you're like, no, this is 30's fine right now. 30's fine for what I'm playing. 720 or 1080p, whatever was at, it's fine. But there still has to be an improvement, right? There still has to be a reason for you to buy the next one, and you can't come up with something that's marginally better as far as graphics and power than your previous console. I don't think they can do that, but they don't have to play the same game the others are playing. So that's my statement about it.
Okay.
I think the handheld nature gives them an automatic pass. The fact that it's a handheld, and it's already out of the box, not expected to hit those same thresholds.
The mobile aspect, handheld mobile aspects. That's a good take. That is a very good take. Go ahead, Keith.
See, I don't like the narrative of giving them a pass as if Nintendo's operating from a handicap. They're not. This is their choice. They chose to come out with a handheld device that was subpar. They know they could have went up in power and competed. Of course they could have. But their philosophy in how they approach gaming is just different. And that's not to say that they're wrong or they're right versus Sony and Microsoft being wrong or right. Well, I think Microsoft is wrong. But okay, that was a jab. Ooh, that felt good.
That was a big jab.
No, nothing.
No breathing room.
But no, I just think that that's their philosophy of gaming, because I think Sony offers, and you brought it up earlier level with Astrobot, Sony offers an experience, and it's a great experience. And I think Nintendo offers another experience, and it's also a great experience. And Microsoft is working on creating that experience in their own right. And I think, in my opinion, the power race hasn't hurt. And also, you got to consider that I'm talking from a guy who owns a PC, right? So we're talking about third-party games. So if I wanted to play a game in 4K or 144p or whatever, I can. But I know what Nintendo's going to give me. It's going to be high caliber, despite the console's lack of ability to compete with the others on that power race. So, I just spent the last few months playing Zelda, Pikmin, getting ready to play some more Switch games, and half these games can't even go 1080p, right? But one of the ways that it has affected development is that they don't have to worry about 4K assets and all those other things, so they can get games out faster. And if you notice, most of the games that come out on the Switch are not buggy; they're not broken. But a lot of the games that come out on the other
Pokemon game.
Oh well, yes, there's Pokemon. You are absolutely right. No, he's absolutely right. You gotta give the slander.
No,
Pokemon.
I'm laughing because he's like that brother's like, no, he ain't scooping past that Pokemon.
No, he's right. and it makes no sense as to why Pokemon performed that way, but it absolutely was horrible. I don't even understand how that released. But most of the games
there we go.
Not coming out buggy and broken, so on and so forth. And it's probably because they don't have to worry about all those extra bells and whistles that the other ones have to worry about. Like, I think Jedi Survivor on the PC is still kind of janky. Ratchet and Clank, which I can't wait to play, but it's not performing as best as it could. And I think that's an optimization thing, right? So I'll wait. But anyways, Nintendo's giving us an experience. I don't take my Switch out the dock unless my boys take it out the dock. So for me, it's not hurting. The Power Race is not hurting. It's just a different experience, and I know when I'm going over there to play. Do I sometimes wish Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was playing at full 1080p, maybe for 1440p, 60 frames a second? Sure, but I already know that that's not what I'm going to get. Now, on this next console, that's what I'm hoping for. Hope y'all shoot for the moon when it comes to your own IP. But for me, it hasn't hurt.
I'm gonna say Nintendo has. Let me say this in two. Because I was thinking about EA's Star Wars Survivor. Right, it was exclusive to this current gen, and then out of the blue, they're like, "Hey, we about to make it available for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One." I don't know if y'all caught that, right?
Yeah, I caught it.
And the reasons is because people are still playing games, mostly on the PlayStation. A lot of PlayStation 4 owners are still playing games on the PlayStation 4, and that's a big number of people. So not everybody. A big audience, and not all have moved over to the new PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? So, and so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about Nintendo, and what I kind of see is Nintendo has they gambled. This is no knock to Sony and Microsoft, so I'm not saying that they outsmarted, but Nintendo gambled with going away from the power, and I think they've done it to the point that we have accepted them for what they are, and they are still respected in the bunch doing their thing. And like K-Bomb said, it's a pass, but it's not in a pass in the sense of all Nintendo is slacking. It's a pass in the sense of what Keith said. Nintendo is choosing this, and it works for them, and we like it, and we okay with it. And so I was like, they do. I mean, there's not a game that I'm like, when I put on a Nintendo game, there's rarely any time I say something is ugly. I did say Bayonetta 3 was ugly, and it was. You know what I'm saying? I did say Lord. A few of them Pokemon games were ugly. I don't think Breath of the Wild is ugly. I don't think Pikmin 4 is ugly. Odyssey definitely was not ugly. Orange was not ugly. Breath of the Wild was not ugly, but it had moments where it broke down. You know, so it showed the fatigue or the weakness of the system. But that was an ambitious game on a system of that caliber. Like for Nintendo to be able to pull some of the stuff that they pulled out is kind of mind-boggling. But they do a good job for what they trying to do and what their games are about. And I think while Sony and Microsoft keep pushing the power, it's kind of unique how Nintendo has managed to not have to do that while being in the same space. It's kind of unique. If we be honest, like
right.
I mean, the Switch was $299. The OLED is $350, right?
Is that how much it costs for real?
The regular Switch is $299. I think the OLED is $349.
Hey.
Dude, the PlayStation is what? The PlayStation $399 for
and $340
and $499 for the disc.
Yeah.
$399 for the discless, $490. So $50 more get you a PlayStation. So an OLED screen and is $350. If you add 50 more bucks, you can get a PlayStation 5.
Right.
Hold on. Let's go the other way. Go the other way. Let's bring in the kids. Now I'm looking at a Switch Lite, $200.
Right.
Here's the catch with that. So you can go get the kids 2 of them.
They're gonna feed into it, right? And so I just hope they don't kind of get lazy on their loyals and just think that gamers is gonna do something because hey, it worked last time, right? So that's just the point I want to make with that one.
Okay, Keith. And I got one thing else to ask, and then we wrap it up.
No, I don't have any more on the power, man. Just it is what it is. Nintendo, like I said, they found their niche, and I posted something on Twitter earlier. Well, it was a retweet. Well, what is it? A ZX? Whatever it is.
Man, tweet, man, tweet. I be forgetting that it's X and be like, where's Twitter at, man? I can't find the app to open up Twitter. Oh yeah, this doggone adult porn X logo
X videos. Ridiculous.
Okay, let me read this with Ranger Banana DX.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to say this, then I was going to let you do your thing. But it was this Nintendo's best-selling hardware ranked in millions. I don't know if y'all saw this, but I did retweet it. Nintendo DS, of course, we know 154, and you're talking about 154 million. Nintendo Switch, 129, Game Boy, 118, Wii, 101, Game Boy Advance, 81, Nintendo 3DS, 75. That's just their handhelds. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's their 6 top selling. Everything else is their home console, game box, sitting under the TV. Is under that NES, SNES, N64, GameCube, Wii U, Virtual Boy, in that order. So power is all on the bottom half of for Nintendo, and it didn't sell, and that's why I don't think it affects them.
That's a good point.
Good point right there.
Hey,
so first of all, welcome to the show, Ranger Banana. Welcome to the show. She says they just banked on portability and remasters. Made me fall off with the Switch for a while cause nothing was new. But hoping we see a lot more new with the new system. That's a lot of new in that paragraph.
Yeah.
But I'm with
good point though.
Good point.
Good point.
I was gonna add this. Now I gotta remember. Oh, okay. So of course, we know that they're not gonna be blowing us out the water with power. We kind of said what we think they're going to be, somewhere between the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, which to me is perfectly fine for Nintendo. And that shows that's how much we have accepted Nintendo to do their thing. But I got this trailer up showing, remember this, Keith? Wii HD. Remember the big old thing about the controllers and the HD?
Oh,
Rumble.
Yeah.
So Nintendo does kind of play on gimmicks and new ways of engaging and enacting with your game. Now, Sony did the same thing with the PlayStation 5, and that's what caught my attention. The haptic feedback of Astro Bot is why I bought the PlayStation 5 as fast as I did. If it wasn't for that game, Miles was not going to pull me to buy the PlayStation 5 as fast as I did. It was Astro Bot and haptic feedback that made me say, I want this system, and I got the excuse of Miles Morales to justify buying it right now because I got Astro Bot. So I knew I had 2 games, and I enjoyed every minute. what do we want from Nintendo in this department? Because this is kind of where they kind of excel, is introducing new ways to play. That's their thing. New ways to play. What do you feel they can do if they stay with the form factor of the Switch, which they seem to be going to do? That's what all the rumors are saying. What do you feel that they need to do innovation-wise, or do they need to do anything? And I throw this at you first, Keith, then I come to you, K-Bum, and then we wrap it up. Go ahead.
Woo. Man, so I've thought about this, just driving to work, just thinking like, man, what could they do? I have no idea. I don't know, because anything, like, because they could chase the power, and what I mean by chase the power, chase it in their way. They could chase it in their way and give us a beefier console, or as far as like specs, but Steam Decks have overheated. Those ROG Alleys, I think it's ROG Alley, those have overheated. And honestly, they're not even punching that high. They're punching higher than the Switch, but they're not really punching that high. You know,
they have.
Naturally,
I didn't know they was overheat.
Yeah, and that's just due to ventilation. That's just poor design. I don't think that has anything to do with the specs. But I don't know what they could actually do, because I think the like you said, the Joy-Cons were promised to be what PlayStation showed. Yeah. What they show, and even when you play a game like I'm forgetting this game. It's a side-scrolling game. I used to love it on the Switch. I can't think of the name of it now. Master something. But anyways, when you go in the water, the remote will rumble a certain fade, and then you come out the water, it will rumble a certain way or whatever, or it just didn't rumble at all. Like, that's been forgotten on the Switch. Nobody talks about it. Nobody develops for it. Nobody uses it at all. I think they can make a bigger deal of that. I really don't know, man. I really don't know what Nintendo's going to come up with. I guess the only thing that I would say is figure out a way to get me off TV play. And what I mean by that is a la Pikmin 3, or Xenoblade Chronicles X, where I still have an independent screen where I have like the map or whatever, or you can map it to your phone if they want to do it that way. However they want to do it, and then allow me to still utilize my TV in a certain way. I do miss that feature. That's the one thing that I feel like the Switch lost over the Wii U. But other than that, I have no idea what I want from them, other than just making sure the next Zelda is running better than Tears of the Kingdom. But I don't know. I have no clue.
Okay. K-Bomb.
Yeah.
What far as innovation, since power is not going to be their thing, even though they're going to probably step up with the power.
Womp, womp, womp.
Innovation seems to be the way that they create their appeal. Where do you feel like they can do with this new Switch, or whatever it's going to be, this new hybrid system that they're developing? What could they do innovation-wise to help its appeal beyond the Switch?
That's a tough question, because there are several places that I would love to see. I know there's still some innovation in the controller space, as far as I know the Switch did their thing with the Wii U controller, but I still think there is a way to utilize a screen maybe with an off controller. Well, I know the Switch itself is a screen controller, so I guess that's not the way you do it. But I wonder if they can utilize something with the Pro controller that allows you to have a screen as well, right? So that when you're playing with a dock mode, and you still have a screen on your controller. I don't know if that makes sense in a mobile type of way, because that only works with a Pro controller. So I don't know if that's something they want to do, but I would love to see them, what they can do with envisioning the Pro controller, because I do think it kind of gets is kind of like the ugly stepchild that don't really do much with the Pro Controller, which I prefer that way of playing the game is with the Pro Controller than the nunchuck. So I would like for them to improve some way in that space, right? Because I think the Pro Controller does not get its justice, especially for people who enjoy playing dock mode than playing on the mobile way.
Okay.
But I also think that there is plenty space still, and I can't think of it because I don't think like Nintendo, and it did a great job of finding new ways to play. Is again, if they can innovate, and I know this is a sore spot for them, but this would make them different than the others. If they can do any innovation in the online space in the way you online game, because Nintendo's space is multiplayer. When it comes to their party games, that is uniquely them. I don't know any true party games on the PlayStation, on the Xbox. I know I know Nintendo has plenty party games. So if they can find some innovation in either near field technology or being able to with dual screen or even internet with party play, I think would be a good space for them to kind of show their teeth and make themselves stand out a little bit differently than with the competition. Okay. So that's kind of my piece.
I'm sitting here watching this 1-2 switch 2, and I'm like, bro, or it's 1-2 switch. I don't know if this 2 or 1, but this is trash. But anyway, I was saying 2 areas, and K-Bum, you made me think when you brought up the Pro Controller, and I'll deal with the Pro Controller later. One innovation they can do is innovate the Joy-Cons. To me, the Joy-Cons are cool, but the Joy-Cons are too small, too cramped for me to be a valuable way to play. I want them to return to analog triggers instead of the digital triggers. I'm tired of the digital triggers. They need to really go hard into the haptic feedback, not just give you a cheap version of it. That's what HD Rumble was. It was a cheap version of haptic feedback. They was able to say they was the first to bring it to your controllers in a way, but Sony came through and just knocked that out the park with their controller. That controller does everything it says it can do, and you felt it. I can't say I felt HD Rumble. I felt haptic feedback. When you play Astro Chain, you feel it. You feel like a ball is rolling in your controller. You feel like water is pouring through your hand. It's different. When I was playing Call of Duty and how it affected the way you shoot and how you all the stuff. The trigger stiffened and you got to pull it harder. Like all that stuff. No, that's not in. You can't do that with digital controllers. You see what I'm saying? You only can do so much. So I would like for them to innovate on the Joy-Cons, make them a little bit more comfortable, make them a little bit more practical for long stints of gaming, give them a Pro Controller feel without being the Pro Controller. So that's what I would say with the Joy-Cons. Do something there to make them more practical for long extended periods of gaming use. Like I've tried on the road. I've tried to play handheld, and after a while, my hands cramping, and it just don't feel good to play that way for me. So I want to pick up the Pro Controller, which brings me to the Pro Controller. Actually, make it a Pro Controller. Give me analog triggers. Look, Keith, I don't know how you feel, but I'm tired of digital triggers. I'm tired of when you go from Nintendo controllers back to a Sony or Microsoft controller and you playing a racer, it's night and day how it feels. And unless they can make digital feel analog and feel like it's actually responding to your slight pressure, the way you press it on the trigger and it's responding to that, then if you can't do that with the digital and you can't replicate that analog with the digital, then go back to analog. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they need to do anything beyond subtle things. I don't want them to try to recreate the wheel. I don't want them to try to break the mold. I want them to do small improvements on a very proven design. I think the Switch has proven that it has staying power. Just improve in the areas that we need to improve. Online, better feeling Joy-Con controllers, better haptic feedback, clearer screen, and that's it. I think, and more power. Just a little bit more power, bump it up in the power. Like I said, if it's going to reach that PlayStation 4, between the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro, I feel like that is absolutely perfect. That's all I want. And that's it. I don't feel like they need to break the mold with this one. That's where I'm at with it. Any other thoughts?
Y'all bring up a good point when it concerning the Pro Controller. Because I would honestly love to see a poll of how many people use the Pro Controller over the Joy-Cons, and using those numbers to see if you can justify Nintendo putting some actual money behind the Pro Controller. Because the Wii U controller, Pro Controller was pretty good. I honestly love the two analog sticks being at the top versus them being at the bottom. That how Xbox has it, the what is it called, the cross or whatever it's called, the cross analog sticks or whatever. On the Wii U, it felt so like when you're playing a shooter on the Wii U, the Pro Controller was top notch. I swear to God. But it's still, like Levelhead said, it still was missing like key features like analog triggers. I think even the face buttons needed like some pressure sensitive, all that stuff.
Everything
it was very basic.
Yeah.
It was very basic. And honestly, the Switch Pro Controller is very basic outside of the analog stick being where it is. So yeah, I agree. I didn't even think about the Pro Controller. I guess I was content with it. But it definitely could use some bells and whistles to make it an actual pro controller. But other than that, like you said, I think the changes would have to be subtle. Maybe go back to allowing people to use a hard drive when they're sitting at home, connecting it to the docking station. Shout out to D2K, because we want to see a docking station that upgrades the visuals. Oh, man. I still want that supplemented computing box, whatever. But anyways, other than that,
that brother was on that supplemented computing box. He kept bringing that up. That never happened, but he was on it first. That's the first person I heard talk about it.
But yeah, it definitely had to be subtle though. Nothing major.
Yeah, like I said, the analog triggers is a must for me in gaming. I don't think digital works. I don't know if I guess it seems it got to be cheaper because that's why they doing it. But it never has felt right. I want analog back. Go back to your GameCube. Wasn't the GameCube controller analog? Yeah. Go back to that GameCube feel. I feel like they really was trying to do some innovative stuff. And I'm not saying that they're not trying to do innovative stuff with their controllers, but some places you don't need to cut corners. And if your whole thing is about immersion and how the game feels when you play Mario, then why would you take those things that make the immersion in your hand that sucks you into the game away by giving you something that breaks it, like a digital trigger that does nothing, that doesn't show variation. It's just like none of your buttons have any variation, any pressure sensitivity to it. It's just, I think Nintendo needs to revisit their controllers if they really want to be about immersion. And because Sony has mollywopped them in that controller. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know if y'all never had a PlayStation 5 controller. Levelhead to tell you, the PlayStation 5 controller is the best controller on the market. There is no better controller.
Stuff today.
I'm telling you the truth. Am I lying, Kevin?
No, I'm just surprised that it's coming out.
Hey, we call it real. The PlayStation 5 controller is the best controller I've ever felt. It's perfectly weighted. The only problem with it is it runs out of juice. That's one thing I love about Nintendo controllers.
Yeah, that
them controllers, you don't have to charge them controllers for months. Them controllers still going. Sony's controller be out in 4 hours of gameplay. That mug be like, charge me, please. Switch out. But feel-wise, the PlayStation 5 controller is perfectly weighted. It feels right in your hands. The triggers feel amazing. To me, there's nothing wrong with that controller outside of battery life. I love holding the PlayStation 5 controller in my hand. It feels like quality. Now, I'm a different here with Keith. While I believe the Wii U Pro controller may have been actually all around better than the Pro controller on the Switch, the Pro controller on the Switch feels better in my hand than the Pro controller on the Wii U. The Wii U controller felt overly plastic, cheap plasticky to me, and too light. But I will give you that the way it was set up was, I think I did like it better than the Pro controller on the Switch. But out of all the controllers I touched over the, we don't say pause here, all the controllers I touched over the years.
That's funny.
From GameCube up, I believe the best feeling controller outside of the GameCube, I felt like the GameCube was probably one of my favorite controllers, it's this PlayStation 5 controller. I didn't like the PlayStation 4 controller much. I felt like it was cheap. I felt like a lot of PlayStation controllers were cheap. This one does not feel cheap. The other one was the Xbox. I love the Xbox One controller. That was a nice feeling controller. I liked, like I said, the GameCube controller. Then everything else is kind of somewhere in there. But this PlayStation 5 controller is above all of them. The Joy-Cons, I don't use the Joy-Cons until Nintendo forces me to. The Joy-Cons will stay docked until Nintendo make me play Joy-Cons, like with Switch Sports and stuff like that, where you got to use the Joy-Cons. I would never use the Joy-Cons in any other way other than when they force me to. So innovate there, but don't go too far. Give us a little power boost, and continue to give us the games you're giving us. And I don't think that's all they need to do. And I think they keep selling like hotcakes. That's what I believe. So anyway, that was the show for the night. We didn't go too long, over an hour and 45. We had 2 hours and 2 minutes. So I'm gonna let these dudes sign out. We didn't have a lot of people in the comment section. Views, but not people talking. We want to send a shout out to Lewis, Phoenix Star, Raging Banana, all y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in on tonight. Very much appreciate it, but let's go on and send these final thoughts out. Go on with you, Keith. What you got to say?
Yeah, man, great show tonight. Talked about some things that I wasn't thinking about as far as the Switch successor and what you got to see. Like I said, I couldn't think of anything. Shout out to the Super Mario Brothers movie for, still killing it, streaming, you know what I'm saying? Mario, you know what I'm saying? I did want to ask y'all before we go, did y'all see who did was it Illumination? Do y'all want to see them do Zelda? Or do you want to see somebody else do Zelda? That was one of the things I was going to ask y'all. But other than that, I can let y'all say that in the wrap up, and it's been a good show.
All right, I'll answer your question. I don't have a problem with Illumination doing Zelda as long as they give it a more serious and well-written storyline. You can't do what you did with Nintendo, with Mario, with Zelda. Zelda got to have a good story. I don't mind Illumination does. Let's get good writers. Go ahead, Keith. Okay, boy.
No, I would like for them to. I wouldn't think Illumination would do it. I would like someone else to do it because, as you said, I would like it to be more mature than the kind of the kiddie, funny stuff that they enjoy doing. So I would probably not want Illumination to actually do that. But that's my statement. But as far as me signing off, I enjoyed the podcast. We even got some Xbox talk, some Nintendo talk. I got a chance to again bring up one of my favorite game out of the last couple of years, which is Sifu. That I still praise that game. It was an amazing game, and I wish more people would actually play it from the indie developers. But other than that, I enjoyed the podcast. I enjoyed chopping it up with the homies, and can't wait till next time.
All right. Okay, Dark Sun Rider, welcome to the show. You late, bro? Not Dark. Yeah, that's Phoenix Sun. It's not Dark. That's why I keep saying Dark Sun Rider.
First name basis.
I'm tripping. But you welcome. You said good stuff. Thank you. Rachel Banana said awesome show. Thank you. But this was the Live 11 Gamers podcast. Signing out. Let us know in the comment section what innovations do y'all want to see on the next Nintendo system. Do we want to see slight, small improvements? Is that the best way to go? Or do they need to go and break the mold? That may be the next topic we have next time we come on. We may be one of our topics. Does Nintendo need to break the mold, or should they stay somewhere in the ballpark of what they currently have and just make small improvements? But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Be blessed and stay safe. And we'll see y'all in the comment section next time. This was the Live 11 Gamers podcast. I am Leveled Head. This was Keith Norris. K-Bum 20. Deuces. You are welcome.
But we got smacked. But we got smacked. But we got smacked. But we got smashed. But we got smashed, bro. Though.